Yo, what is up guys? Zoran here with another Pokemon Scarlet VGC video, but this time we're making a little tier list today, and hopefully my mic sounds okay. But yeah, we're gonna be making a tier list. I am a little afraid of making these because I don't usually like to make stuff like this, but I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone and try to make a fun little tier list here. Basically, my thoughts on what I think is going to be really good in the metagame from what I played already. Some of them I haven't even got to play yet, but I've seen and I've seen what people have done. And this is strictly my opinion. In no way think this is the my whole pure facts is what I'm trying to say. This is purely my opinion of what I think is going to be strong and what's going to be not that used. But of course, if you guys have your own opinions, feel free to leave it in your comments. This is just for fun for me, just trying something different than just my BTC videos, right? But anyways, so first things first, we don't even have to discuss one thing here. Well, actually, no. Before we actually get into that, I do want to actually talk about how my tier list is going to work. So, my opinion, there is the SS tier, and I honestly don't feel like there's anything D tier besides like Cosmium and Nebby, but those shouldn't even exist unless someone ends up beating worlds with it. Then oops. But I think the least tier I can give Amon here is C tier besides Cosmium and Nebby. I don't think anything belongs anything lower than D. That's just what I think. But there are SS tier, and I kind of wanted to have a super tier because S tier, I think there's some mons that are going to be really, really good, but aren't exactly like broken good. And then A tier is basically just kind of like they're usable, they're very good, definitely could win like tournaments. And then there's just BC where it's like kind of just play them if you think it's fun, right? So that's kind of like the idea here for my tier list. So anyways, let's get started. So let's just get straight out of the way. These two, no one's going to argue with this, right? No one's gonna disagree. These two horse riding scumbags are going to be SS tier, right? Let's be real. They have a really good signature move, really good ability, two abilities, one that stops berries and the other one that makes it ramp up into extremely horrible scaling levels. Like it's just not fair, it's not balanced. These things should have not been allowed into this gen. I don't know what Game Freak was thinking, especially when they went untouched while the dogs and Urshifu got nerfed, but for some reason these guys didn't get touched. So if you weren't going to nerf them, you might as well just have left them out, because these guys are basically in their own tier. Like nothing else is going into this tier. At least to me, nothing else is going into this tier. That's why I make this tier. I should have just called it the Calyrex tier at this point. But yeah, so we're just gonna get them out of the way. All right, so let's start with these two. So let's just go in order. So Koraidon here, honestly, I haven't really been seeing much good from Koraidon, which is kind of unfortunate because I think Koraidon is really cool. A really cool restricted, but I feel like it's going to be A. Now, Sun is going to be really good, but I think Koraidon right now is just, maybe people haven't found out how to use it yet, utilize it like at the best of its abilities yet. But I think for now I'm leaving it at A just because I haven't really seen much from it. I mean, things like Fluttermane, literally Fluttermane counters it under its own sun. So you just go Fluttermane, and like, just considering how splashable Fluttermane is in the meta, on any team, you could literally slap Fluttermane on your rain teams, on your Kyogre teams, on anything. It's kind of hard to kind of justify it being anything better than A, because you can literally slap anything and abuse its own sun against it, especially Fluttermane, because it KOs it, it forces it to Terra. You know, you just don't want to deal with it. Now, Miraidon, on the other hand, I think is going to be S, because it doesn't share that issue that Miraidon has, where it boosts the other. It does have the thing where it does boost like opposing bundles, but usually you pair Miraidon with bundle. So it's honestly, I think S tier is really good, is a good spot for it, because I feel like Miraidon is going to be one of those like restrictors that people are going to be looking at and utilizing really well. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with it, with like Bundle especially. I think Bundle right now is going to be really strong. Like I think Bundle is super splashable on any team, but with Miraidon it's just nasty. Like it gets the speed boost and you icy win, and it just lets you outspeed everything in the meta with it. So I think Miraidon is going to be really, really powerful, especially with that electric terrain not being able to be put to sleep. Choice Specs is really good. Life Orb is really good. That Terra Fairy stuff is really good right now. I got to experience a tanky Miraidon set on my channel, and the things that thing could survive and still dish out the damage. I definitely think this thing is going to be, as at least from my own experiences from battling it and using it, I think Miraidon will come out on top when it comes to Miraidon or Koraidon. Terapagos. Okay, Terapagos is kind of a weird one for me. So Terapagos I think hovers around here, and I personally used it during the, I'm gonna put it here for now, but I don't know yet. I personally used it for the, I think it was the Blueberry Prologue, and I went pretty much undefeated with this thing. If you can protect it really well, this thing is actually a monster. But again, that was a Prologue where the only thing you had to deal with was posing Terapagos. So all I did was I made it, I put a Clover Cloak on it, obviously. I think that's what people are doing right now too. And I would just make my whole strategy revolve around protecting it. And then I also make this thing fast, because if it's not gonna get hit because I'm trying to protect it, why would I make it slow? Especially because Terapagos was the only other, like, enemy Terapagos were the only issue, right? But that's kind of the issue why I think maybe I'll be A and not S, even though it is kind of strong. But I feel like just because it requires so much, like, I think it's still better to Koraidon though, in my opinion, even though Koraidon kind of beats it. But I think because you kind of really focus on Terapagos, because the issue with it is that you have to kind of like spend your stellar, you know, your Terrasilize on it to get as much benefit as possible. I mean, there can be situations where you don't want to Terra it. I mean, Terra Starstorm still hits like a truck at single target, so I'm gonna leave it here at A, but I feel like it could be S. Like it could be, but I'm gonna leave it here. I think it's at least top like A, at least A plus, because I think with like the right protection, I think people might not even be playing it right. Even I think I might not have been playing it right during the Blueberry rollout, but because Terapagos was the only issue, I didn't really have to worry about that. I feel like a more, like with Cobra Cloak, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a more aggressive version team with this thing would be much better than just trying to protect it, because Starstorm is really good. So I don't know, I feel like being more aggressive with it than just protecting it would work better here. Now Mewtwo, I haven't gotten to play with it, but I am making a team with it just for fun. But I'm gonna put it around in B for now. It might be C, but I'm gonna put it at B just because it's an expanding force user. All right, Psy Spam. I'm a little biased here, but I mean Psy Spam. You give it a choice specs. You just hit Psychic Terra if you want to, and you just kind of win the game. But personally, I'm running a Dark Terra on this thing, mainly because of, you guessed it, this guy over here, the horse guy. Mainly Dark Terra for that way I can kind of like surprise it in best of ones. Right now, best of ones, that's what I think, but it'll be like decent. That's why I'm kind of putting it in B. In best of threes, however, I would put it here. But this is just general overall what I think is going to work for the whole meta, not just best of one, best of threes as well. So I'm gonna put it here in B because it has a niche where you can like kind of like spook these guys with a Dark Pulse or an Expanding Force and just go, you know, resist the Astral Barrages or Expanding Forces they want to do. I think that's pretty good. Okay, this thing right here, this one's kind of iffy for me because I think it's really good, because multi-skill is really good, and I think it also falls in the same category as this guy right here, the turtle, where the issue is that I think you might want to protect this thing at all costs, try to keep that multi-skill going. Same thing with you do with this one. I think Comfy Lugia might be really good, and people are sleeping on it, but I'm gonna put it in A for now, because I feel like people Haven't explored it just much yet. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, Psychic, it's part what Flying Psychic. That's kind of rough, but I mean that's what Terra is for. And you know, Calm Mindsets are really good. I think with Comfy this thing could be a monster if played correctly. So I feel like A would be really good for it. Now Ho-Ho, man, I played it once and I have no idea what to think about this because it's like playing Entei, except it's restricted, right? It's like playing Entei, but it's in the air, so it can't get hurt by ground types. But then it's like, just play Entei at least. Like at that point, just play Entei. Cause the cool thing is it does get a regenerator though, so I think I'll put it here in A2. But it's gonna be like, I think it's gonna be like farther away in the A tier. I think it could be good, but again, if you're slotting this in, you probably won't be playing things like Entei. I think Entei just overall better to slot in and then just run another like restricted, because then you could run like, you could run this dude, you could run Koraidon or Groudon and just run Sacred Fire next to it, right? Which is really nice. So I don't know, I feel like this is just like, these two I feel like are good, but I think people are still exploring their options. Now Kyogre I feel like is an S for sure. It's definitely S. Same thing with Groudon. I actually think Groudon is better, but I don't know if it's S though. I don't know if it's S. Alone, I feel like it isn't. I think with a team enabling it, it is. But Kyogre for sure, I feel like it's just really good. Like, it's just, you just go Tornadus Kyogre. You know, the combo right now is Tornadus Kyogre. And you just start Water Spouting or Origin Pulsing, and it's really scary to go up against one unless you have your Rillaboom ready. And people are still figuring that out too. So it's like, I think Kyogre will be as, I think we'll probably see Kyogre and Groudon a lot during the Indiana regional. So I'm gonna put them up in S for now. I think Miraidon is also gonna be seen a lot in the Indiana. That's why I'm putting it in S. But yeah, these two are really good. Precipice Blaze is really strong. My friend Evan, who made a team with the Pepper dude. I forgot what the Peppermon's name is right now. Can't remember it, but it was really cool with Clear Amulet. Like Clear Amulet is making these mons like really strong as well. So that's why I feel like Groudon is better than Koraidon though, because it just doesn't have that fear of Flutter Mane that Koraidon does. But this guy doesn't care. He doesn't care. The one he fears is the grassy dude, but he has Heat Crash to deal with it. And funny enough, if you get it to +2, from what I saw my buddy Evan do, the Heat Crash can just delete Rillaboom. So that's something to keep in mind. Now let's talk about Rayquaza here. I definitely think it's better than Mewtwo, but it's definitely a B tier. It's basically just Chien-Pao Dragonite, but now you have Sword Dance option. But you now have to also give up your Inner Focus, meaning you can get Intimidate, meaning you run Clear Amulet because you're running Sword Dance, obviously, and you Protect. But you risk having to Protect just to, stop them from faking you out. So that's kind of a problem with Rayquaza right now. And it's honestly, with its typing, it's not that great, especially with Ice Rider being out running around. So I feel like this is not going to be seeing a lot of play. It's definitely a cool mon though. It's like one of the fun ones in my opinion. It's like a fun mon for me. But I honestly don't think it's going to be like really good. I do think though, Dragonite is still kind of, it's the same thing with like Ho-Ho, right? It's like, why play Rayquaza when Dragonite exists, has the better ability, and you don't waste a restricted slot to slot in Rayquaza, right? If you're not going to use Dragonite, then sure, go ahead use Rayquaza instead, but you still have the option of running a different restricted, right? A better one. And I don't know, I think especially with Koraidon and Miraidon, especially Miraidon kind of just sits on him, so that's why I kind of wanted to leave it there. But yeah, Chien-Pao Rayquaza is still a solid thing to do. Now, what do I think about Palkia here? Palkia, especially the orange one. Orange, I said orange. The origin one. I mean, I've seen the Trick Room version so far. And honestly, with Ursaluna, it's really good. But that's Ursaluna, so it's like you can run Ursaluna with anything. You don't really have to run it with this. But it gives you an option with Ursaluna that you, because now you can run Earthquake a lot more safely because now you have Dialga and Cresselia basically to sit next to your Ursaluna and just start dealing damage. The difference is that Dialga can do damage too, but in my opinion, I think it's still a B. But it's definitely better than Rayquaza. This is why I'm kind of like, I honestly think this dude also goes in B and goes like right here because I think Dialga is still better than Ho-Oh in like teams that you can use it with, because nothing really like gets in its way unless you want to run Archaludon. But if you're running Archaludon, you're running Kyogre, so it's like that doesn't really matter. So I think this will be in the B slot. I think Dialga normal will be in C though. I don't think it'll be B. I think it'll just be C. Same thing with Palkia. Let's just get these two out of the way. These two are definitely gonna be like lower than their origin forms. Because I think, honestly, I feel like Palkia is better than Dialga. In its origin form, it's faster. It hits like a truck. Its water coverage is really nice. And telepathy with Chi-Yu, oh my god, I feel like that thing is good. But I feel like it could be A though. Like it's definitely A. I feel like it's A because this thing with Chi-Yu is a monster. Like this thing is absolutely a monster with Chi-Yu. You can run Lava Plume with it. That's the thing. You can run Lava Plume. I mean, if you've seen my team with it, I actually ran a Dashbun Palkia Origin team with it. I feel like this thing with next to a Chi-Yu just does so much damage. And you can EV spread it so you can outspeed anything you want under base 120 if you really want to, and give it some bulk. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like this thing is better, at least better than Origin Dialga. All right, let's talk about the Giratinas. I haven't played them at all. That's the issue. I haven't played them all, but from what I've seen, and I haven't seen many, they're not good, and it's probably because of its typing. And the issue with the typing, Letter Main. Guess what this thing is weak to? Letter Main. It's weak to Shadow Balls. It's weak to it's weak to everything that Letter Main can do. Pretty much. It's weak to Miraidon. It's weak to Koraidon. Kyogre can Ice Beam it. This thing can murder it. This thing can murder it. Like these, it's weak to both of them. Okay, so yeah, these go here. I still think these two are actually better than Giratina too. So I'm sorry, Giratina, you're a cool mon, but I don't see you seeing much play when the ultimate monsters of this regulation pretty much just delete you from existence. So who knows? Maybe someone will change my mind there. But I'm obviously gonna make a second tier list after the regulation, actually comes out and we have some time to actually test more on it in the rank ladder. This is basically just like just what I've seen and what I've experienced, what I think. It's just basically predictions, right? So that's what I'm thinking here. Reshiram, definitely. I don't even have to talk about it. I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think Zekrom is gonna be good either. I don't know. I haven't played with them, but I don't think they're gonna be good. Especially whenever they have a transforming, like they have a fusion. I don't think they're gonna be good. It's the fusions are usually the better ones, and that's why I think these two are gonna be B. And they're definitely better than these guys. I honestly feel like they're like somewhere between here. They're in B definitely, but I think Mewtwo is just gonna be chilling over here. I think all of these are still better than Mewtwo, even though Mewtwo's cool. He is definitely outdated. He's been power crept. If you want an expanding force, there's Horseman. So yeah, it's rough. Same thing with Kyurem here. Kyurem definitely goes in the back. We don't really care about this. I'm gonna put these two here because these two are not really going to be used, and if they are, they're trolling. I'm probably making you sad. Solgaleo, man, Solgaleo. Again with the fusions. But the difference with Solgaleo and Lunala is they have their own abilities, which makes them kind of desirable. So I would put them at least. No. Honestly, I don't even think they're C. I think they're at least B. I honestly think they're at least B. Because they get their own ability that's really good. Like you get Prism Shield using their fusion, but you get like multi-skill kind of. I know Lunala does. I don't remember what this. I think it's just Clear Body. I think it gets Clear Body or something like that. Kind of similar to Clear Body. I always forget, but I know these two are at least decent, and I feel like their fusions aren't bad either. I know this might be at least A. This for sure has to be A. Like I think people are cooking with this thing right now, and it's doing really well. I think this one's A too, but it's right behind Lunala. Because so this thing right here, right now people are running like a Meteor Beam Lunala build with this thing. And I think it's also happening with Lunala. So you know what? I'm going to put Lunala over here. I think he's actually better than all of these. Lunala is actually better than all this. I don't know much about this though. I don't, so I'm just going to leave it here. But like Lunala with the Meteor Bomb is scary, especially because it can get Expanding Force too. So you can't even like forget about that. It gets Shadow Ball, Expanding Force, stuff like that. And you power herb it. And it's guaranteed you'll get the power because the Meteor Beam, because you have super effective cut from the ability. Like you lowered the damage from super effective moves. Not only that, I think that's why you use this thing. But not only that, you run it usually with NDD, so you're safe from priority. I mean, it doesn't even matter. You're part Ghost, I'm pretty sure. So it doesn't even matter. But then you get Expanding Forces, and you're just safe behind NDD anyways. So I feel this thing will be good, especially because I know people are running Trick Room on it too. So I feel this thing is going to be really good. I think this thing is going to be is pretty good too. I think they at least belong in A, because I've seen some crazy stuff with Trick Room as well with this thing, and it's like Sword Stance with it, with Clear Amulet, and then it just tanks things like nothing. I had one tank a Brave Bird from my Zapdos at like below half health. It tear out grass, by the way. So I was like, yeah, Brave Bird, hit it hard, bam. It lived. I was just like, oh, okay, all right. Guess I'm going to lose now, and I did lose. I did end up losing horribly. Guy definitely played it well. Necrozma, I don't think this is good. I honestly don't think. I think it's worse than all of these. I think it's worse than these. To be honest, I don't know much about it, but from seeing its stats, I don't think it's good. I think you need to fuse it to be good. I think you need to fuse it. So not much to talk about there. Zacian. No, this is a little bit different for me. I mean, the dogs. Let's just put these here. Nobody's gonna use them. They're definitely not worse than the dudes though. But let's not talk about them. I don't think they're gonna be good. You kind of want the sword, especially after their nerf. I don't see you ever using their normal form. But let's talk about Zacian here. Zacian, I feel like it's going to be an A tier, and I think it's going to be high A tier, maybe even around here, because it's kind of weird to be doing this. But the reason I think that is because Zacian actually feels like it fell behind its brother, her brother, because, well, with Intimidates and everything, now that it only works once, you can kind of just neuter Zacian right off the bat if you really want to, and just keep neutering it with Intimidates and Fake Outs and everything, and it can't really do much. So I feel like this thing isn't going to be played as much. I don't think she's going to be that great, but I definitely think she's at least good. Like she's above average for sure. Now we talk about Zamazenta though. And I'm a bit biased here, but from playing it, this is also my reason. I played both Zacian and Zamazenta, and I played them a lot. They're the ones that I was testing the most out of all the restricteds. I tested Zamazenta and Zacian, especially Zamazenta. I've been testing Zamazenta a lot because I think Zamazenta is the one that I'm going to be bringing to a regional. And Zamazenta, out of all the restrictions, have felt the best for me. I don't think it's like the best. It's not S tier at all. I still think these two are going to destroy me. But this thing has so many options that you can do. You can run Protect or Wide Guard. And if you want to deal with these two over here, you can deal with the Groudon, you can deal with the Kyogre. And it can tank pretty well, especially under screens. You're just going to be an absolute behemoth. I have Behemoth Bash. And I think it's going to be S. And I think it's going to be at least better than Groudon. I don't think it's going to be better than Kyogre or Miraidon, but I think it's better than Groudon. And the reason why is because unlike his sister, you can't intimidate this thing. You can't parting shot this thing. Like you can, but it doesn't do anything. Like, sure, it affects its heavy slam, but you can't stop its body presses, and its body presses hurt. You put it next to a Chen Pao, you probably will one-shot most of the things. And after one iron defense, you kind of KO everything in the metagame that isn't Shadow Rider. Of course, Shadow Rider is immune, right? But yeah, this thing is an absolute monster. I've been using it so much, and it honestly, even if resisted, you'll either take half your health after one iron defense, or you just lose. If it gets 2, then even a Tornadus goes down to it. So it's like, it's crazy, honestly. Its bulk is amazing. You can't stop it with parting shots. You can't stop it with anything unless you like lower its defense. That's really the only way. So I think this thing has at least an upper hand against Zacian. So that's just, like I said, this is just my opinion and what I think I'm going to be seeing a lot in the regionals, because now we only have 2 more, but we're just going to put Big Brain over here. I'm going to put him over here. Sure, I don't know where he would go. But now we only have 1. Eternatus is the one that I just made a video recently. And I think Eternatus will be A as well. Where in A? I have no clue. But I think this thing is a monster too. After I looked at its base test, this thing is a Meteor Bomb beam monster. I can see it being over here. Like I said, I think people are sleeping a lot on Bundle, unless they're using Miraidon. But Bundle, with anything here, I feel like is really, really strong. Because Bundle right now is probably the best speed control next to like Prankster users. Like it's ridiculous how good of an enabler Bundle is right now. And I really think this thing is at least, you know what, it's way better than these guys too. It's like I feel like it's at least over here. Even Koraidon, I feel like it's like right here. Maybe not Zacian, but like I don't know, even Zacian, honestly I think it's gonna be like right here. Yeah, it's gonna be right here, because like I said, this thing is absolutely monstrous when it comes to its base stats. It's better Glimora, because, and it's not weak ×4 weak to Earth. It's literally a better Glimora. This thing is the exception to the rule of why play Ho-Ho when you could play Entei? Why play who was it? What was the other dude? Why play Rayquaza when you could play Dragonite, right? This thing is why play Glimora when Eternatus exists? Like, there's no reason. This thing exists. This thing is literally the best thing you could do if you want to run a Glimora. Like, this thing is amazing. So I would highly use this over Glimora any day of the week. This thing definitely has potential to just be really, really good. I think it could even be S, but right now I'm gonna leave it at A because I haven't seen much of it. People are still in the honeymoon phase with the other stronger restrictions, with the horse riders. That's all I see. These 2 are the only things I see. Miraidon is something I always see. Kyogre is what I see. Zamazenta, I haven't seen much, but because of my experience, I think this thing is just being slept on right now. And then Groudon as well is really good. I know Terapagos has been playing a lot, but like this thing destroys it. Like this thing right here destroys it, and like a lot of things destroy it. But the only thing that this thing can't be destroyed by is this thing, but it'll find a way. Its teammates will. But yeah, this is what I personally think will be, you know, what we will be seeing a lot of, what I think is going to be strong. Just overall, I feel like this is just my thoughts though. I am not saying this is 100% accurate, because it's not. It's just my opinion of what I think and what I've experienced so far. So don't take it into it being like, oh man, this is the tier list, man. He knows everything. I do not know. That's just what I think. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed at least just like, you know, my yapping and seeing what I think about the restrictigs. Honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with them. I'm also unless it's Shadow Riders, you guys already know how I feel about Shadow Riders. If you guys been seeing my videos, I do not like them. But sadly I am making a team of Shadow Rider, and it's not because I want to, you know, just be meta or something. I'm making it because I'm gonna have to use a Shadow Rider team. I might as well be the one making it, with at least some mons that I like personally using. So look out for that, since Shadow Rider, it hasn't been on my channel just yet. So yeah, next video is definitely going to be an Ice Rider one. So we're just getting the horses out of the way, just so I don't have to worry about them anymore. I don't want to play with them. And I just personally, I like being like, I don't care. Like I'm, how do I put this? It's fine if you like playing meta. It's not. It doesn't bother me. It just angers me when something is just obviously over the top and shouldn't have existed. Like everything else, I feel is kind of like in this balanced power struggle with each other, and then there's just these two horse riders that just obliterate everything. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's why I don't like them. I just don't like things that are just over the top. I like playing meta. It's fine. I will play meta. I'm trying to win, especially when it comes to regionals. But I also like to have fun, and those two are just not fun for me. Like I just don't enjoy just even, and this coming from a Scythe spam user. Like I don't enjoy Horse Rider. You would think a Scythe spam enjoyer like me, someone who literally loves using Armor Rouge, would love Horse Rider, but I don't, because I just think it's just way easier to use than anything else. But this is not a Shadow Rider video, so this is either way. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the little tier listing. I hope you guys I just enjoy, you know, different content from me from time to time. I'll try to make other types of content, maybe guides or something. For now, I'm kind of easing down on, like, I'm not trying to make any guides or anything like this yet, because like I said, I am still trying to experience everything else. So maybe I'll make guides for all the restrictions eventually, and then from there on, yeah, just trying to see what I want to do for my YouTube channel. I want to make it grow. I want to grow it. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, if you guys want to help out with the growth, you know, hitting a like, comment, notification bell, subscribing, all that good stuff helps out. Just, you know, just watching my videos just helps out a lot. So do appreciate all of you who watch it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me though. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out for now.